Welcome to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. Now, here's your host, the Image Master, Holly Porter.
Hello and welcome everybody back to a podcast we're having today with a great friend of mine, JoJo Bennington. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Holly? Thank you so much for having me on today.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so excited that you're joining me. I've been wanting to have you as a guest for a while, so we made it happen, didn't we?
We did. We just got to do it.
JoJo's such a joy to be around.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Ditto, sister. I feel the same about you.
You're so sweet. Well, I'm glad that we connected through eWomen Network. If anybody knows what that is, it's getting bigger and bigger, right? Now that the star of the show, Sandra Yancey, was on The Doctors, and so that's.
And if they don't know, then they need to know about it.
They need to know. Yeah, what a great organization of 500,000 women. So, yeah, definitely plug into eWomen Network if you want to check that out. But so this is rare. Well, so I hear, so I'm told, because I was raised in Las Vegas, but you are a native of Las Vegas, and that's rare, don't you think?
Born and raised. So for somebody my age now, it's a rare thing. More often now, but not for somebody who's been around as long as me.
Whatever. So you've been married to Vinnie for 18 years. I'm just going to read a couple things so that our listeners can know a little bit more about you. So you were a former blackjack dealer. Obviously, Las Vegas is known for gambling. A former bartender. And you founded TANtalizing. Did I say that wrong? TANtalizing?
TANtalizing.
Okay. Salons. Opened and operated 3 of them in Las Vegas. They were all right. Yep. And that led to the love of nutrition and how the body could heal itself. So 12 years ago, you became a certified nutritional and wellness consultant, and you got into Isagenix and network marketing. And I bet your life really changed from there.
Completely.
But not only that, you are the 164th millionaire in the company. And so she got the Rising Star Award. And when did you get that?
Oh my gosh, 2012, I think.
Awesome. Okay.
It's up on my
list. Not real recent. So you've been doing awesome for a while. And let's see, you got the Woman of Isagenix Award 2 times, not just once. And nominated for the Spirit Award, and retired your husband from being an electrician with the union. Okay, now you're working in women's empowerment, and you've co-founded UP Retreats, Unlimited Potential, that stands for retreats, where she helps women see their true potential and beauty. And she has a weekly call that she hosts called Empowering Healthy Women. And then she's also co-authoring a book on forgiveness. Wow. Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
I've never interviewed anyone boring on my show. So you definitely didn't break the record.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good.
So like what's the most thing when you get up in the morning that you just have passion for?
Oh, wow. For so long it was really entrepreneurship and having my own space and going to my own building and sticking the key in the door and like having my own thing. Right. Yeah. And then I realized that I was sort of married to that. And
done that.
Right. And then I discovered network marketing and nutrition and watching people transform and feeling so good about being involved in someone else's transformation in some way, whether it was physical, financial, mental, emotional, it didn't matter. It was so rewarding to be there. So every day that's my biggest passion really, is to watch the transformations that are taking place around me.
So I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute.
Oh, okay.
I know you'll think of something because I'm sure you have a ton of them. But, like, I love stories, and I want to know, like, off the top of your head, what's the most transformational story of health and nutrition that you can share?
Oh, wow. Well, how about my friend Jen, who I met in 2009. Is it possible? 2008, 2009. And we accidentally were at a little bit of a vendor booth thing together, you know, at a craft show or something. And I was out helping people get healthy, and she was there in another capacity in another booth. And I looked over, and she just looked like she was so happy on the outside, and I could just tell that she wasn't. And so watching her make the transformation from, she used to be an Olympic hopeful and blew her knee out while she was working a summer at Wet and Wild, and never was able to go to the Olympics. She was a swimmer. And so watching her, she had put on weight. She had 2 kids, and the weight came on and the weight came on, and she wasn't feeling good, and just all the things that go wrong, right? And her knee was not in a good space, and she had had several surgeries. And so just watching her transform, lose over 100 pounds, and then go on to compete in an Ironman triathlon. So
wow,
there's one for you. But that was to be a part of that and support her and be there to cheer her on was such a great space.
Oh, I bet. That's amazing though. It's, you know, what would you say to someone? Well, I'm going to state this first. I think people look for that miracle cure all the time, and they don't give things enough time. And so I'm wondering if you come across that in your line of work of people that just like, they take something for a week, or I even say 30 days. Like I usually tell people when they tell me about a product and I'm willing to try it because I'm all about healthy stuff, I always give it at least 60 days because I feel like, you know, I mean, I've been in the beauty industry for years. So that's how you can tell by how your hair is growing, your eyelashes and eyebrows replace every 3 months. So, I mean, I feel like you have to, for nutrition purposes, you need to be on something at least that long. Like, share how you feel about that.
That's such a great question. And it's so true. People come in and we just wait. We're a speed society. We want everything right now. And really, most of the time when our health starts to fail us, it didn't just happen in one day. It was a long period of time where something has taken place, or we've abused ourselves, or maybe not eaten right, or done things that we shouldn't have done, and contributed to that. Yeah. And so to really make the transformation doesn't happen overnight either. And we see little things. We see little positive steps that keep us moving forward. But when we don't see it, well, I did lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks. Right. We get discouraged. But really.
Did you gain 50 pounds in 2 weeks?
Never.
I don't know anyone that's done that.
Never. But that's such a good point. And really, in order to really infiltrate every cell in our body and be able to get it, get them nutritionally balanced and get the body really back to a balanced state, I love to have somebody for 90 days minimum. But we do see transformation in 30 days. We do see where people get the hope back. And, you know, when we can step in when somebody's tried everything and really show them that this is not, it's not a diet. What we do is a lifestyle, and we just teach a different lifestyle every day. We learn how to do the bad stuff. We can learn how to do the good stuff. And it's really just an education process for most people.
Well, and I think if your clients become teachable, or if they are teachable and they're coachable, they're a lot easier to help, you know, because a lot of it, I think, starts with mindset. Your health is, I mean, you've got to be healthy in your mind if you want to transform things. I mean, sure, you can take any kind of nutrition, but you really need it. I think a lot of that nutrition helps your mind, though.
Absolutely. Well, you know, we're learning more and more about how our gut health affects how our brain functions. And so when those two things are not, you know, be in sync, that we just see, things just go wrong all over the place. It's like when the dominoes start to fall over. One falls over, then the next one, then the next one. But we can stand them back up. And you know, people, it's just one of those things that I think sometimes we lose hope. And when we can give the hope back and really see that the body is a miracle, we just have to give it what it needs to function correctly. And
well, because the nutrients aren't in the ground like they used to be. Everything's different. We know that. And so the disease and everything is just so prevalent. And oh yeah, don't even get us started on the
right. We could do that all day. Right?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh wow. So who are your favorite people to work with?
Oh, my favorite people are, well, obviously somebody who's really committed and ready to make some transformations, but I love to work with people who still have that little glimmer of hope, who believe that there's something, who are willing to, text me and message me and say, here's my good stuff and here's my bad stuff, and let's look at all of it and find out a way. And so really when you're ready, and my job is to just let people, my job is to educate. I'm going to give the knowledge. And then really my biggest job is to be here when they're ready to make their move, which is why 12 years in, I still have people coming back to me 12 years later going, hey, you still doing that thing? You still do, right? You still do nutrition, because it just has to be a time for them to be ready.
Oh, I agree. And, I think people sometimes don't realize that sometimes when you change things up and you're making lifestyle changes, you get worse before you get better. I mean, being an esthetician myself, sometimes, the skin does the same thing. It all breathes and, it's an organ. And it's like you put something on it or in your body, sometimes it reacts, not how you would prefer it to. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. But, how long have you been treating it crappy?
Yeah.
Right. So
I think point.
Goes back to the, give products, when you try products, give them at least 60 days just to know if they work. I think you just can't pass judgment. If you don't have allergic reaction or you don't get deathly ill, give it 60 days.
well, and we have that society where we get motivated, we join a gym, and then we go, okay, yay, and we go really good for 3 days, and then we pay for a membership for 3 years and never go again. And we just weren't ready, and that's okay. And the point is to give ourselves grace and start where we're at today, and be coachable and open. And whether you work with me, whether you work with somebody else, if you're going to bring somebody into your space to teach you and to mentor you and help you through a transformation like that, then use them as much as possible.
Absolutely.
That's what they're there for. And we just build community around people. And it's even though I'm a direct coach, I have an entire community of coaches and athletes and doctors and nurses and fitness professionals and all kinds of people who have had such amazing transformation experience. And we surround somebody with that love and support to lift them up. And, it's a lot of times they have to borrow our belief before they can believe in themselves. And
I love that you just said that, because I was going to ask you, what do you say to the person that might be listening or watching that is on that teeter-totter, and they know they need to change or want to change, but they just maybe don't have the energy or don't want to make the effort. What would you say to that person that, what could maybe set them over to the right side?
That if it's even a glimmer of thought in your brain, have the conversation. Because you may find that we put all this story into what it's going to look like or how it's going to be or how hard it's going to be, when really just having the simple conversation can actually show us how simple the steps can really be. Right. And even if it's small little baby steps every day, that's perfectly fine as long as we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, my mom has Parkinson's pretty advanced. And it's I'm at the point with her, she wants a Diet Coke. Go ahead. You know what I mean? At some point it's die happy. If that makes you happy, whatever. I mean, I don't drink soda personally, but it's interesting how many people let habits, and I say that for even alcohol and smoking and no judgment. Just that if those aren't probably helping your health. And so you got to make a decision at some point. And, whatever's going to make you happy, you need to do. But there comes a time when your health's important. So at what point, at what level of your happiness are you going to let that rate?
And I find that as your body balances and as you shift, we don't feel so much like we've given up something because we can't have the bad stuff. Yeah. We understand that the good stuff becomes our fuel, And the other stuff becomes our fun instead of the other way around, because most of us will, you know, who will fuel with the fun stuff, which isn't really fuel at all. And to put ourselves back in balance, that totally shifts. Our taste buds shift, what we crave shifts, everything changes. And so it's really with the conversation and having that small, you know, glimmer of hope. And for real, the conversation takes us everywhere, because if it gets us out of our head into what's real and not, and out of what's story.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Oh, I love it. Well, so what else can you share? Like, I mean, are you open to conversation? If somebody wants to get a hold of you, obviously you would have that with them. How would they? I'll post your links here below that they'll be able to grab. But
yeah, that would be great.
What's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can send me an email. You can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. You can go into my website and send me a message that way. Probably email or Facebook is the easiest way. I'm a Facebook message girl.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
It's so easy for me. Yeah,
totally. And documents and everything. I love it. So can you share a little bit about your Facebook women's group that you were?
Oh, I would love to. And yes, so we have two different things that we do. So we have the health side of it, but then we also have what we call empowering healthy women. Okay. And so we have a Facebook page, and we've created community there. But what we do every Thursday night is we take 30 minutes, 5:30 to 6, every Thursday night, and we just do girl stuff. It's about you know, mammograms to menopause and whatever comes in the middle, and really to talk about things that are important to women, from mindset to physical to weight loss. Right now we're doing a meditation challenge. So things that are really helping lift us up and support the women community. And, you know, that ties into our up retreats, which is our unlimited potential retreats, because we're all about seeing ourselves as beautiful, and we spend so much time not seeing that. We spend so much time bad talking ourselves and looking in the mirror and saying, and I really realized as I went into health how much we do that, and how much we don't see our beauty because we feel like we have an extra 20 pounds, so now we're not beautiful anymore, and it's just not true.
Well, I coach on confidence and a lot with people. That comes up all the time, and I still struggle with it at times. You know, we always just tend to see all the flaws, and we just need to see. And I think besides seeing our own beauty, see that in other women, because I watched, I mean, especially when I ran for political office, the women were the worst to me. It was unbelievable. I thought, okay, you have a strong person here willing to support you, defend you. You know, it was really frustrating. I mean, all the organizations that should have had my back didn't. And so it was eye opener, and I also a blessing to realize that's not really my tribe. So I'm going to go hang out over here. You guys go ahead and play in that sandbox. I'm going to this one, you know? And sometimes we got to just like define that, speaking of sandbox, that line in the sand saying, you know, this is where I stand. This is the ground I'm in, and you can come with me, or you can stay back here, but I'm moving forward. So, you know, I love that you're doing that. And who's invited to that? Can anybody join?
Anyone. Yeah, we even have men who pop in and learn. And I love that, because they're learning, especially with the climate that we're in right now, with the craziness that's going on everywhere, and all of the abuse things, right? And so I think the men are kind of feeling like, what's okay for me to do? What's okay for me to say? What's okay? Can I be in the space? And so I love that they're popping in every week and listening and taking an interest, which makes me happy. So anyone at all is welcome. The majority of the people that are there are women, but anybody is welcome.
Did you give me that link, and I'll make sure that's posted as well?
I did not, but I will send it to you. And it's just empowering healthy women, and the community's built into the Facebook page.
Okay.
I love Facebook. It's been such a good tool for me.
And it has blessed a lot of lives.
Right. You know, I was gonna just say to, we spent as women, it's somewhere in our childhood, and especially for me, I remember having entire circles of friends that our entire common denominator was the fact that we hated someone else, or that we didn't like someone else. We gossiped about someone else. That was how we spent our youth, right?
Yeah.
Was not so much lifting each other up, not so much giving love, not so much creating community and love and tribe, because I don't think we knew how to do that. And so to really be moving into this space the last 20 years of my life has allowed me to clear my karma a bit for anything that I did when I was a kid, and really be able to see the beauty in everyone, and
Right.
lift each other up in a community that is nothing but about watching each other succeed and lifting each other up and believing in each other when other people don't. And
I love that. We need more of that. And
Yes.
and I would say to the listeners, go check out your group. And if that's not your tribe, find one that is. I mean, everybody's not everybody's cup of tea. That's why we got so many flavors, right?
Absolutely.
So we just need to support and love and help. And there's always that hope out there that everything's going to get better. So, well, gosh, is there anything, that I almost want to ask you, if there anything with inspiration you want to leave us with, if you can think that was just a pretty good thing you gave us, but do you have any other nuggets?
Oh, sure. I just, if you're having trouble believing in yourself, then there's so many of us around that believe. And so find somebody to believe and to breathe their belief into you until you can really believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And
they'll carry you till you carry yourself.
Absolutely. That's what we do for each other, right? So
that's what we should do for each other. So we always remember that.
Yes. Yes.
Well, JoJo, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure and a blessing. And I know that somebody out there listening to this, you'll be a blessing to their lives. And I hope you get a whole bunch of new listeners and help on your Facebook page. That'll be fun. So JoJo's contact information is below again. So just go on there, click, and you can get a hold of her. And
thank you so much. I feel so honored to be here with you. And we'll get you on our Thursday night so we can share you with my community.
I need to do that. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone, for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. You can learn more about them at theimagedesigners.com or email Holly at hollyporter.com.